Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of a series called Teenage Trials. This podcast, we will talk about, being a teenager. I'm Kai Blattenberger, your host, and today I wanted to share a story that's a little heavier than usual. It's about loss, grief, and finding the strength to keep going. It's about my grandma in particular. I was in 8th grade, living in Devon, Pennsylvania, just a 10-minute walk from Tredyffrin Easttown Middle School. Those were good times, in a way. The simple kind of good. Me and my friends, Brandon, Cooper, Can, and Richard, we walked home from school together almost every day. I was quiet back then, really shy. I kept everything bottled up. Showing any real emotion felt like climbing a mountain. Self-consciousness, the bane of every teenager, had me in a headlock. But with those guys, I felt a little less invisible. I remember the day so vividly. It was one of those perfect early spring days. The sun was blazing, but not in a harsh way. It warmed your skin like a friendly hug. The air was thick with the sweet smell of pollen, that almost sugary scent that meant winter was truly over. There was a gentle breeze, just cool enough to chase away the sweat from running around at school. In the distance, I could hear the shouts and laughter of other kids playing, their voices echoing the joy I felt inside. It was a day that felt like it could stretch on forever. We were walking down the familiar path, cracking jokes, probably arguing about something dumb like video games. And then I saw my dad's car. He knew our route, knew that we walked home together, but he never picked us up. Never. My stomach dropped. A cold knot formed in my gut. Something was wrong. I could see it in his face. Even before he rolled down the window, his eyes were red-rimmed, and his usual cheerful expression was replaced by a grim sadness. He reached around the passenger seat and opened the door. "Kai," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "can you come here for a second?" My friend stopped, looking at me with concern. I remember feeling a strange mixture of dread, confusion, and this overwhelming sense of wrongness. I walked over to the car. My legs were heavy. He didn't beat around the bush. My dad never does. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "She passed away." The world seemed to tilt on its axis. The sun, the flowers, the laughter in the distance, it all faded away, replaced by a ringing in my ears and a cold, hollow ache in my chest. I don't think I said anything. I just stared at him, trying to process the words. My grandma, gone. It didn't seem real. He pulled me into a hug, and I finally started to cry. Silent, choked sobs that shook my whole body. My friend stood there, awkwardly unsure of what to do. Brandon put a hand on my shoulder, a gesture I appreciated more than words could say. A few days later, all I could remember was a blur. I remember the funeral, the endless stream of relatives, the well-meaning but hollow condolences. But mostly, I remember the silence, the heavy, suffocating silence that descended on our house, a constant reminder of the person who was no longer there. A few days before she died, we'd visited her hospital. She was heavily sedated, drifting in and out of consciousness. It was hard to see her like that, so frail and weak. But as we were about to leave, about to say our final goodbyes, something unexpected happened. My grandma, despite being barely lucid, managed to muster a mischievous grin, and then, with the flicker of her old, humorous spirit, she flipped us the bird. Yeah, the middle finger. I know, it sounds crazy, but that was her. Even in her last moments, she had to make us laugh. That memory stuck with me. It's a reminder that even in the face of death, life can be absurd and funny and beautiful. It's been a few years since then, and I'm not going to lie, it hasn't been easy. Grief is a weird thing. It comes in waves, sometimes crashing over you without any warning at all. But I've learned to ride those waves and to let them wash over me without drowning. I miss her terribly. I miss her support, her laughter, her unwavering belief in me. But I also know that she wouldn't want me to give up. She would want me to keep pushing, to keep following my passions, no matter how impossible things seem. That's why I wanted to share this story, because death is a universal human experience. We all face it sooner or later. And it's okay to feel lost, to feel sad, to feel angry. But it's also important to remember that even in the darkest times, there's always hope. There's always light. And there will always be the possibility of finding strength and resilience within ourselves. So if you're listening to this today and you're struggling with loss, or you have in the past, please know that you're not alone. Talk to someone, reach out for any help, and never give up on yourself. That's all for this episode of Teenage Trials. Thank you for listening, and remember, keep going.